US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, still on Mr Rubio, he's moved to mend European bridges. In a speech at the Munich Security Conference overnight, he defended American might while also trying to soften Washington's recent problems with Europe.
We want allies who can defend themselves so that no adversary will ever be tempted to test our collective strength. This is why we do not want our allies to be shackled by guilt and shame. We want allies who are proud of their culture and of their heritage, who understand that we are heirs to the same great and noble civilization, and who, together with us, are willing and able to defend it.
For more on this, let's bring in our US analyst Michael Ware on this Monday morning. So Europe certainly needed a shake-up, Michael. Let's put it that way. How is that sort of language likely to be met?
Well, I think that was well met at this Munich Security Conference, which is essentially a Davos for defence leaders in the Western world. In essence, what the Secretary of State was doing was trying to revitalise the relationship, the friendship between America and Europe. He said, look, we will go it alone, but we want to do this together with our friends. Now, why our friends in Europe? Because we have a shared ancestry, centuries of shared history, and the same Christian faith. What Marco Rubio is representing is this isolationist, multipolar view of the world, but it's all in the name of defending civilization with a capital C. And more, we're seeing the Trump administration define that as white, Christian, and of shared democratic values. In fact, Marco Rubio says the world's been in decline since after the Second World War. We had the rise of the communists, we deindustrialized the West and farmed our industries out to the Third World, and we submitted to the climate cult. What he said was that armies don't fight for abstract ideas, they fight for nations. And he's saying that this is necessary to deliver our shared civilization. And as I mentioned, he stresses that's one of white ancestry and Christian faith, and that sealing our borders is just a matter of preserving sovereignty, and which allows us to defend ourselves. But against what?
Yeah, look, and just going through the issues that they've had in the last year or two. There's the trade issues, there's Greenland, there's obviously Ukraine, there's defence spending, which some European nations have come around to. I mean, many have regarded European leaders as weak, and they needed to wake up with all of those issues, Michael. But then you've got the left and the Democrats who are over at that conference as well saying, hey, look, don't worry, Trump's only got 2 years left and everything will be cool. So, what are they suggesting things go back to, the way things were?
Well, the problem here is that the grand question of today is, has Europe's faith in America been so shaken that we'll never go back to the relationship we had before? Because, okay, even if a Democrat wants to say, look, just wait out President Trump and, things will change. But once you break something once, how can people have faith that it won't be rebroken at a whim again? And by the time President Trump leaves office, his multipolar vision of the world, where there's an American world, a Russian world, a Chinese world, and a European world. Now, that's not even to begin to mention Africa. Will that have shifted the global trust quotient so much that we can never restore it? I think that's going to be the question coming out of this administration, because Marco Rubio said, this delusional faith in a world rules-based order, that we have this dogmatic view or vision that free trade will bring us peace. He's saying wrong, 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 wrong. We need to protect civilization. And it just so happens that we in America share our definition of civilization with many of you in Europe.
All right, good one.